So I'm gonna let him like say a few words, and if he gets crazy, I'll cut him off.
Yeah, no, what's up, everybody? My name's Cameron. I am, like John said, I took the cohort and I finished last March. I'm only 22, so I'm a young head. I came to Mobile Makers like my junior spring of my college years. So like I kind of left school for a bit in the cohort, and then now I'm back at school finishing my last year. The experience in the cohort has been like one of the best experiences of my life, I would say. Like I think I took a lot of learning from like these guys, and I took it upon myself to really push myself to learn as much as I can. You know what I'm saying? Like it gets hard sometimes to like want to keep the drive after like everybody goes away. You know what I'm saying? When you're here doing these hack witches and stuff, it's like your focus and stuff. But then when these guys leave at like 5, you feel like, okay, you know, like you might be hitting your head against a wall trying to solve a program or working on a bug for the longest time, and it gets really frustrating. And like I would encourage you all to try your hardest to just stick through it and stay here as long as possible. I feel like my experience in my cohort was so positive because I was one of the people who stayed here until the place was like empty. You know what I'm saying? Like I'd stay here till the janitor came in to clean up. You know what I'm saying? And even then later, you know what I'm saying? Because like I really wanted to like you get out of coding what you put into it, and like coding is like one of the only fields where really like the work you put in really pays off. So I would just encourage all of y'all to like not let the frustration or not let just like the little distractions of being in the city of Chicago kind of get you out of the focus that you can have here. And like I think this space is so wonderfully set up by people like Stacy who are really thinking about how can we design this place for y'all to just feel comfortable in your learning. And I think like make this your home for a bit, you know what I'm saying, for the time that you're here. Just like kind of look at this space as yours and like as a community. And the more you sit here, collaborate, share knowledge, and the more you kind of stick with what you're doing, I feel like the more you'll take out of it. And the bigger your dreams will be, the more fun your pitch week will be, your pitch day will be, you know what I'm saying? All of this, like, you'll enhance the experience by like putting in that enthusiasm. And I was the kind of dude during the cohort to like kind of get everybody hyped up about it, you know what I'm saying? Like, coding is fun, you know what I'm saying? It's really cool, like, to like solve these problems, be creative, be imaginative, and like turn our imaginations into something like practical and tangible. And I think like, y'all are here now, so celebrate that fact, and then, you know, don't lose confidence in your abilities as things get harder. You know, right now it's week 1, so it might seem like, okay, it's kind of easy, you know, drag a segue from view controller, you know what I'm saying? But like, when you starting to like work with more things, and now that they're gonna do a longer period of Swift for you guys, things are gonna get a lot more challenging soon. And I just encourage you all, don't feel like you have to contain your knowledge. If you know something, share it with people because that enhances your learning, you know what I'm saying? You don't really know something until you can explain it to somebody else and have them understand it. So like really try to take the time to like learn from one another, share your knowledge, and make your cohort experience the best one you can. That's my 2 cents.
Do we have any questions for Cameron?
Why did you go back to school after you graduated from this?
Yeah. That's a great question. I was really on the fence about the whole thing. I could have just stopped going to school and like kind of worked. I'm so interested in iOS stuff that like I really was at that point. Like I could just really not go back to school and torture myself and get a job and chill. But I think for me, it just made sense because I'm so close to being done, you know what I'm saying? Like, I didn't want to have that, like, prolonged degree waiting, you know what I'm saying? I'd rather just knock it out and then just dive into the field as soon. And I feel like leaving the cohort, I felt confident in my abilities to program, and I feel like despite the fact that school for me now has kind of taken a lot of the time that I would have been dedicating to coding away from me, I do feel like the skills that I learned from the cohort have just lasted for a long time. So like now I'm on breaks and stuff as I jump back into like coding personal projects or coding projects for people for freelance work. I have like kind of like the muscle memory of things. So like it's not like you'll forget everything so quick, you know what I'm saying? Especially if you really, like I said, put the work in now, like when you leave and if things happen that get in the way from you, your ability to code, like you can always really jump back into it. So like now I'm like at that point where like after school's over, I'll just have my degree, you know what I'm saying, that's out of the way and in my back pocket in case I want to do something later. But like I'm just planning on just full-time coding afterwards.
Yeah, that's what I was gonna ask. Were you like gonna go into like developing
Yeah, pretty much. That's my plan is to just code and make a bunch of projects.
You want to
Going out,
do your own
see.
freelance stuff, or you want to like work for a company?
I kind of like do my own stuff for a bit. You know what I'm saying? Like, it's for me. I'm like I have like a lot of ideas. When we did pitch day, I think I came up with like 15 ideas.
He
Yeah,
had
I
like a
like-
scroll. He had a
I came up-
spreadsheet of ideas.
I came up with so many ideas that Don didn't want me to give any more ideas, and I was like, you can't do that, man. This is my moment to shine.
We had to separate them.
Yeah, but I mean, like for me, it's like I'm so young. You know what I'm saying? There's always a time to go back to like corporate stuff, and like you'll see later in the cohort when people come and talk to you, like they're always there, and you can always apply for a job. You know, everybody's looking for an iOS dev, so it's like there's not a shortage of jobs for you to look for after you feel like. You know what I'm saying? And I think like guys like Matt's really like impacted my vision to like work on my own stuff, and then you'll still be like hit up by people like Apple and stuff like that who value you because you're a unique programmer who's done some personal things that they can see in your portfolio have really impacted like the field and stuff. So I feel like working on my own personal stuff will just sharpen my skills enough for me to like, you know, still work at a corporation. Right, yeah.
Cameron, did you feel, I know you put a lot of time in, but the 8 weeks that you're here really got you where you needed to be to be able
Oh
to
yeah,
produce?
I think I mean like technically, by like week 5, I was already like, yeah, I think I am pretty good at this. You know what I'm saying? Like, cause then by week 5, you're starting to start coding your big project, and I felt like the thing about comp sci is like you're never gonna be an expert, and if you look at yourself as an expert, you're looking at it wrong. You know what I'm saying? You should just look at it like a continuous learning process, and that's how I approach everything. And so I just felt by week 5, I was confident enough to tell myself like, hey, what I don't know I can learn, you know what I'm saying? And I can learn it quick, just like I learned these hack witches quick, you know, just like I did these assessments and stuff, you know what I'm saying? Like you'll just get more confident in your programming ability the more time you put into it. And I mean, you realize pretty quickly that the process of learning something new is the same each time, you know, like you go read some specs online, try to find a test project, see how that works, and then try to implement it for yourself until you get something that flows, and then put it into the project you're working on. So it's like, I guess like what these guys taught me more about like coding was the methods I could take in terms of learning versus just like the information itself, you know? So like by week 5, I was so confident in like, I have a process of like coding that like works for me, you know, and like works for me in terms of like finding new information out quickly and then implementing it even more quickly. So I think like I think you'll see like it'll by like week 4 or 5 you'll be like, oh, I got this iOS stuff down, you know what I'm saying? And then you'll just like feel like more confident in everything.
Thanks.
Yeah, no problem.
Right on.
Anybody else? Cool.
I love that wait time, Karen. Learn how to be.
I know how it goes.
Thanks, man. That was very inspirational. I feel.
I hope